it's all over the board. I mean, I don't think there's an industry that's not mystery shopped. In fact, during COVID, the government was using mystery shopping with the whole masks and distancing and all of that stuff. So yeah, they mystery shop just about any and everything. She was like, hey, we need someone to go do these gas station mystery shops. Would you be available? I'm like, it exists. I'm like, I didn't think it was real. And so I told her yes. And that was how I got my foot in the door and started mystery shopping. It was a game changer for me and my husband. There's definitely been times where I'm frustrated because I'm like, okay, there's no growth. It's like everything's like this, which is still not a bad thing. But as an entrepreneur, you always want to be going up. So there have been times and I'm like, oh my gosh, what can we do? There has to be something, and you're digging deep, and so you do have those seasons.
Welcome back to the Hustle and Grind podcast, the show where we dig into why real entrepreneurs trade comfort for conviction. This isn't about vanity metrics or overnight success. It's about the stories behind building a reputation that actually matters. I'm your host, Andrew, keynote architect, platform builder, and fellow founder in the trenches. Today, I'm sitting down with Mercedes Eckert, the founder and president of iShop, an organization that has empowered people across the globe to create a consistent income stream through mystery shopping. For over a decade, Mercedes has been the ultimate financial guide, bringing a powerhouse combination of experience in marketing, customer service, finance, and management to help thousands take control of their money. She's built a reputation that resonates, growing her total audience across social platforms to over 150,000 followers. Let's dive in. Mercedes, thank you so much for being on the show today. Really appreciate you being here. And you're in this really interesting space that I think all of us heard about, but none of us know anything about, right? That's secret shopping. So really happy to have you on here today. Really excited to hear your story.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be here and share a little bit of my journey with the audience. I'm excited.
Awesome. So the first thing, I think everyone has this concept of secret shoppers. And I don't know how accurate it is, because we were talking a little bit on a conversation a while ago about secret shoppers, and it was different than what I thought. So, can you go into a little bit about what you do, and how that can also impact like small businesses, and go into a little bit more about kind of what that secret shopper background is?
Yeah, so secret shopping, it's very, like, a lot of people don't understand what it is. So it's funny when we had that conversation and I gave you like the definition. It's like, oh, that's what they do. Because it's very, people get it confused with other things out there like Google reviews and Amazon reviews and things like that. But so secret shopping, also known as mystery shopping, same thing, just two different terms to describe it. But basically it's a form of market research. Okay. And so businesses, big and small, use mystery shopping as a way to gauge their businesses and obviously to improve their business. At the end of the day, that's what they want to do. Where's money leaking? Where can we increase revenue? All of the things. And so coming to it from a shopper perspective, mystery shoppers basically get paid to go into these businesses undercover and they evaluate. So in exchange for their evaluation of the business, they're paid, right? Mm-hmm. So it's really that simple. But it does help businesses really be able to get a customer's point of view inside of their business, and where they can see, okay, here's an area our team needs to improve. Here's an area we need to improve, bonuses, raises, even terminations. These things are heavily influenced by the evaluations that they get from mystery shoppers.
Now, is it only for like companies that sell products, either online or virtual, whatever, or online or in person, brick and mortar stores, or are there uses for it, or is it pretty much just you go into the restaurant and you see how good the server is, or you go online and see what your shopping experience is? Is that really all it is, or is there more to it? Or kind of walk me through that a little bit. Like some of the more use cases we wouldn't think of is really what I'm looking at.
Okay, so it's used by all sorts of businesses. I think one of the craziest that you wouldn't think about are churches. So you can get paid to go to church, to
Huh.
go to mass. Yeah, it's pretty bizarre. So it isn't just, product based businesses.
Hmm.
It could be a service that they're offering. It could be, some of my favorite types of shops are going into apartment communities and
Hmm.
pretending to look for a place to live.
Hmm.
So, it's all over the board. I mean, I don't think there's an industry that's not mystery shopped. In fact, during COVID, the government was using mystery shopping with the whole masks and
Hmm.
distancing and all of that stuff. So yeah, they mystery shop just about any and everything.
Hmm. That's interesting that churches, I mean, I guess as long as you get put your, proceeds from that into the offering plate, God's cool with it. But I don't know.
That's
But it makes,
hilarious.
but it makes some sense. I think it's not just going and making sure that the customer experience is good in a brick and mortar store. I think that's what really shocked me was you can use it for other things. Like real estate investors could use it to see
Yeah,
what their tenant, what the application process looks like and if the property manager is doing what they need or, things like that. And I think that's a use case we don't think about for mystery shoppers, right? Yeah.
exactly. It,
Yeah.
it it spans so many different industries. I mean, I have said like it's the best kept secret because I mean, you just don't hear about it. You just don't know, but it exists. It's out there. It's
Yeah.
pretty big, pretty big industry.
The other thing I could think about is Airbnb. Like actually having, like, as if I was an Airbnb owner out of state, I would want to have somebody mystery shop my Airbnb to see kind of what's going on.
Yeah,
So
you
it's
could
interesting.
totally do that.
Yeah. Now, how did you get in to mystery shopping? Because I think all of us hear about, hey, I get money to go to go shop, and we all would like to. But I'd like to hear how you got into the business end of it too.
Yeah. So, yeah. Listen, I was back in college when I first heard about it. And I remember trying to, figure it out. And I just, after trying to do some research, I just chalked it up. Okay, this doesn't exist. It's a scam. So I kind of forgot about it. And then in 2013, I actually met in person a young lady who worked for a mystery shopping company. And she was like, hey, we need someone to go do these gas station mystery shops. Would you be available? I'm like, it exists. I'm like, I didn't think it was real. And so I told her yes. And that was how I got my foot in the door and started mystery shopping. It was a game changer for me and my husband, just in our finances. And then one thing led to another, and I ended up opening my own company. So it's quite a journey. It's been quite a journey.
So it was more of I just went through and kind of saw this was a good opportunity and took it. And just kind of said,
Absolutely.
I'm going to start a business doing this.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it started with me wanting to help get more shoppers because there weren't enough. And so I started telling friends and family, hey, would you be willing to go do this mystery shop in exchange for this amount of money? And then slowly but surely, like posting that and talking to people, people started getting curious
Yeah.
and they started asking me questions. And I remember, and this is a good story, the very first time that I did like a group class, I was sitting on the floor of my master bedroom, and I had three people
Mm-hmm.
uh, in this call. And it was a call because back then, I mean, webinars and all that wasn't really a thing. So I had used, I believe it was 1-800 freeconferencecall.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I used that to get everybody on this conference call. And I mean, it was about 45 minutes that I just literally taught them over the phone. And I did that for a while. I mean, it was a phone call for years
Mm-hmm.
until I discovered, platforms that, then webinars and things like that came around and we could actually do video. But yes, that's where it started. Three people on a phone call. So,
That's interesting.
yeah,
I think that shows kind of most companies start, it's just sort of scrappy and whatever the hell you have to do to make it work, sort of a thing.
exactly. Like,
Yeah.
Sit. I remember times where, you know, you got to run to the bathroom to get away from everybody, you know, the quietest place in the house. You're like, shut the doors. My curtains behind me, the shower curtain. I'm like, this is so wild to think, you know, small and humble beginnings.
Exactly, exactly. So now, did you come from an entrepreneurial world, or was this always something you kind of knew you were going to do, or like was this, or is this just really random and hey, I'm going to jump on it, or
I
what
wouldn't
was your
say it's
background on
ran.
that?
I wouldn't say it's random. I've had the entrepreneurial bone in my body since I was born. So if you know, talking to my parents, they'll tell you. I mean, I was always selling something all throughout. I mean, from the time I was little, going door to door and selling rocks. I mean, I don't know
I
I
love
thought
that.
about that too. Yeah. So the entrepreneurial, that was that gene was in me. So I wouldn't say it's random. What was random was mystery shopping, right? I mean, I had a business when I started mystery shopping. I had a babysitting service business, and I don't want to use that example, but like I was just beating this thing. Oh, and it was like not working. And I remember you know, starting mystery shopping myself and start making money. And then when I started the company, the mystery shopping company, my husband says, you need to stop the babysitting thing. And I'm like, but I've worked so hard at it. So I was, for a little bit, I was simultaneously doing both. And he was like, I really think you need to focus on the mystery shopping thing. And so I finally gave it up, the babysitting thing, and I went full force into the mystery shopping thing, and it took off.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's an important point is often the first business that we start, we want to stay attached to, but that's not always the right direction.
Right.
I started off in strictly learning industry and wasn't what I really wanted to be doing. I finally just had to, how does Kevin O'Leary put it, take it around the back of the take it around the back of the barn and shoot it.
Yes. Yep.
But it's our baby. It's hard to release that at first and to look at something else going, hey, there's another bigger opportunity out here. And I
Yeah.
think that's something we all go through as entrepreneurs. It's not, it's not just you, everyone does it. We all have that moment, that thing that we started that may not have necessarily been the right point. It's a journey. It really is. And it's starting to kind of kick the tires, see what works, see what doesn't, hack off what doesn't, keep going with what does, move forward from there. And so I think it's an important point that you make there. Yeah. And I think every
Yeah.
person I talk to on the show has some sort of an entrepreneurial bone in the back of their body and that they've always known it was there. It was
Yes.
just how it was going to manifest.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you don't know what'll stick. You're throwing all these things to the wall, you know, to see what sticks. And I mean, I feel like a lot of people see the success of some entrepreneurs and they don't have a clue the failures and the learning process. And so, no, yeah, that first business I had, it didn't. I would be embarrassed to tell you how much I was not making. You know, it just for years, like, oh, it's gonna work, you know, keep doing it. Put all your time into it, but you're not really getting anything out of it. So yeah, you know, that's just a part of the journey and you grow because of that.
Yeah. It's not it's not the goal, it's who you become in the process. And I think that's one of the things that's really you learned from it. You've like you've said, we've all screwed up way more times than we wish to say, and in very big ways. We've done a lot of things wrong because that's, you're doing it right if you're messing things up, right?
Right.
If you're not messing things up, you're not going hard enough or you're not taking risks enough. And that's kind of what the entrepreneur world is taking risks, calculated risks, and being able to say, let's go out and you tried it. It was something you liked, good, that's a good thing to at least try it. But you really learn over the years, maybe this isn't quite the right fit I thought.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
seriously. Yeah.
yeah. It's a big part of entrepreneurship. So now, as far as building your company is concerned, what would you say the number one biggest issue or the biggest problem that you ran into when building this company?
You know what? Probably the belief in my own self. I
Hmm.
think that was a major thing. I remember the first time, like I said a little bit earlier ago, having those three people on. And I remember prior to that having a conversation with my mom, and she was like, she's the one who first encouraged me, like, you should charge. And I go, well, nobody's going to pay to learn how to do this. She's like, no, you should charge. And I go, $3. I'll charge him $3. Like, what? Like, I look at that now and I'm like, what was I thinking? So
Right.
those three people paid $3. It
There you
was like,
go.
you know what I mean? But it came down to believing in myself and not capping what you think other people want or what they are willing to pay for what you have. And so that was the biggest thing. And I have seen that kind of throughout my journey, because sometimes, I mean, it takes a while to like each kind of level you go to. I've noticed like sometimes that'll sneak back in. Well, they won't pay this much, and then I'm like, well, I'm just gonna do it. I've learned to just do it because you never know. You never know.
I heard somebody once say, keep raising the price until somebody says no.
There you
And there's,
go.
there's some value there, and
Yeah.
it's a value proposition. You are giving them something where they will make decent amount of money at it. How much value are they willing to give you for it?
Hmm.
And it's a question I think all of us have. I've way undercharged. Like there's sometimes I'm embarrassed to tell you how much I charged for something, because it was way too low.
Right.
But I think we've all done that. It's that belief
Yeah.
in ourselves and that trust that we can. It's not just believing in ourselves. I think it's also the trust that we can make it work. The trust in ourselves to be able to make it work. And
Yeah.
I think that's
That's
the other
true.
side of where it comes from too, right? Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so true.
Yeah. So about how, just out of curiosity, about how long have you been running this company?
We actually just celebrated our 10 years in business. 2 weeks
Okay.
ago, we had our, we have an annual mystery shopping conference every year. So we
Nice.
celebrated it big, 10 years, which is crazy. I was 25. Hold on. How old am I? I'm trying to remember how old I
I'm
am.
gonna say mid 20s.
Yeah, I was like 25 when I started. So, I mean, just
Amazing.
crazy to think. Yeah, it just always tickles me. I'm
Yeah.
thankful.
Yeah. Well, and that is amazing. In 10 years, I mean, that's a small percentage of companies that get to that point.
Yeah.
So that's a huge accomplishment getting that 10-year. And so do you just, what I'm trying to do is kind of get a judge of kind of where the company is. Do you have employees? Do you just subcontract everything or?
Yeah, so I have a team. I have a team of six
Nice.
people to help run it, because at this point, I mean, we have thousands of shoppers in our network. So, yeah, it wasn't long after I began when it started kind of growing at a healthy pace that I was like, okay, I need help.
Mm,
So, yeah, I have an amazing team, and I couldn't do it without them. At this point, there's no way. I mean, there's a
mm-hmm.
point where you have to bring people on to
Yeah.
help.
Yeah. You can't be the solopreneur anymore. You can't be chief everything officer. You got to do, you got to spread it
Yeah.
out a little bit more. Yeah. So now, as far as growing, because after 10 years of growth, you've gotten to a point where it's probably more growth than most people are used to. And there's a lot of things that you've learned along the way where they're growing pains.
Yeah, there's definitely been times where I'm frustrated because I'm like, okay, there's no growth. It's like everything's like this, which is still not a bad thing. But as an entrepreneur, you always want to be going up, And so there have been times that I'm like, oh my gosh, what can we do? There has to be something, and you're digging deep, and so you do have those seasons of just kind of go chugging along, and that's when you really have to dig deep, let your creative juices flow, try some new things. I've been there multiple times, and every time I always come out of it. There's always a season of that, but then we come out of it, and it's like boom. So
I think that's normal for entrepreneurs, though, is that we always want to see that climb. We're always in that growth mode. We always want to see things kind of changing.
right,
And that's not always the right way to go. Sometimes, slow and steady is the way to go. And we just like to come in and blow everything up and change everything.
yes, yeah, that is true. Because you just like, well, this isn't working, this is working, like, and I mean, you just can recreate a whole new business if you went really crazy.
It does happen.
For sure,
I've seen it
yeah.
a lot. Now, do you have somebody to kind of help mitigate that? Do you have an ops person who's like, okay, well, out of those 1,000 really great ideas, which two are we going to do?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
somebody to
So
help balance that?
I try to surround myself with, a team that's going to not just be yes men, and give honest feedback. And a lot of times we look to our shoppers as well to see
Mhm.
what do you want? You know what I mean? Now sometimes it's feasible, sometimes it's not. But we try to look there, look internally. Having a business coach is a great thing as well to help you. So you just got to surround yourself with other people besides, yes voices.
Yeah. And have people that have the ability to be able to speak up and say, well, I don't agree. Here's why, and think it through. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
for sure. Because you can't, what I've learned is I can't even come up with all the ideas by myself. I can come up with ideas, but it's so much better when like I get my team involved. Well, what do you think? And what are your ideas? And when you hear that, it's like, oh, I never thought about that. Or I did think about that, but not quite that way. And then you're able to just the collaboration and the magic that happens in that. Well, what do they say? Two heads are better than one. So
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah,
true.
absolutely. Yeah, and it's a team sport. I think it really
Hmm.
needs, business needs to be a team sport because you might have expertise in or you might be really good at one thing and bad at another. You get somebody else who's really good at that one thing you're not good at. Now you guys all balance. Now everyone balances each other out, right?
Yeah.
And it makes it a lot better. Cool. And any big plans for the company? Like, what does the next couple of years look like for you?
Yeah, we're actually working on a brand new platform. So getting more into the tech side of things, building out a pretty cool platform and app
Oh,
for people to find mystery shopping jobs pretty easily. So
oh, that's really cool. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
And
super
it's
excited about that.
well, and it's scalable too, which is nice, So you have the ability to be able to go in and any sort of a platform like that makes it a whole lot easier.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, we're really excited about it. So thanks for asking.
I can imagine. So, Mercedes, thank you so much for being on the show today. Really appreciate it. Always nice to have a chat with another entrepreneur and hear kind of some of your backstory and the good, the bad, and the ugly, and some things that have happened and something kind of cool. Mystery shoppers. We've heard about them for years, but not really understood exactly what some of the use cases are, especially with real estate and with churches. I mean, we never think about using a mystery shopper for that. So, thank you so much for spreading the wisdom. Really appreciate it today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning in to the Hustle and Grind podcast, where we unpack what it really takes to build something that matters. If today's conversation hit home, do me a favor. Share it with someone who's in the trenches too. And if you're building your own brand, platform, or message and want help turning that story into serious authority, head over to theauthorityforge.com to see how we can help. Until next time, keep showing up, keep shipping, and keep chasing the work that sets you on fire. I'm Andrew, and this was the Hustle and Grind podcast.